baby that in them no fine, but beat that color fine. So I go call my mingwa in my son, make it pull up with palm wine. So make we dance and dine. Girl, I know they lie, we can go offline. Cause I got you, baby, ask God, Emma. So I go start teach you from ABC to you reach university. Give you everything you need. Girl, do you believe me, my girl? I'll never leave your side. I'll never leave your side. The world needs you, that is why you are here. And I need you, that is why I am here. Don't matter what they say, cause I don't really care. I always will be there. The world needs you, that is why you are here. And I need you, that is why I am here. Don't bother what they say, cause I always will be there. And I don't really care. You, that is why you are here. And I need you, that is why I am here. Don't bother what they say, cause I don't care.
Alright, welcome back again to this wonderful platform. If you're just tuning in, you're very much welcome. It's a Love Saturday, and of course it's Meet the Love Doctor with Apostle Lefort Divine, aka the Love Doctor. And today, Apostle, we have a wonderful topic of discussion, and I think is going to open the eyes of so many people. Today we are going to be discussing, viewers and to the Apostle, I want us to be talking on something very exciting: how to find out or know if you're in a fruitful love relationship. How to find out or know if you are in a fruitful relationship. Now, Apostle, you bear with me, there are many people, many young people, even some marriages, they feel that in a marriage not knowing that it's not fruitful. Because I want to believe that I believe you're a man of God, and you're watching me, you're a Christian, right? Yeah. Even if you're not a Christian, the Bible says that when God created Adam and Eve, He said, "Go and be fruitful." So we believe that every relationship should be fruitful. But it's unfortunate some people are not in a fruitful relationship. But is it that they are kind of blind? Maybe they are ignorant about it. So maybe today they are going to know if they are actually in one or not. Yeah. But before we go deeply into that, so please, can you help us? Tell us the requirements of a fruitful love relationship. Maybe you want to start by telling us what's a fruitful relationship anyway, but giving us the requirements.
Yes. Okay. It's Happy New Year once more to all the viewers of High TV, and welcome to this beautiful program, Meet the Love Doctor, where remember that building emotional intelligence and promoting mental health is our goal. You know, whether we like it or not, we cannot advance. In fact, I always say that without emotional intelligence, your emotional quotient determines a lot how you go far in life. Great things can always be destroyed by one wrong emotional decision, as we can see right from the case of the very first couple. You would see that it was the emotional quotient that affected both of them. Yeah. And you can see, and that's where where you use that sample, you would understand a lot of things, even coming to what we're talking about, fruitful relationships.
Yes.
And that's because a lot of times there's a lot of other ideologies, ideas that have been propagated by a world that has no understanding. Things keep failing, yet we don't yet see why it's so. It's sad that especially in my generation, at least I can say that with over 11 years of experience as a relationship expert and counselor, at least, and with some research and interacting with other counselors, I will tell you that there is a lot of our generation, our relationships of recent are very, very fragile.
Okay.
Yes,
very
fragile. You will discover. I will tell you, there's a lot of people. Check around. The divorce rates of young people high. I know people getting married. I'm saying this as a counselor. I know people after 1 month of marriage, glamorous marriage, who calls me and tell me I'm leaving.
Oh my.
who go to church with the same dresses. They wear comple as we used to call it, and they don't even speak at home. I was talking here the other time. I know of a very big person in church. We don't usually call names. Who was not been with his wife in the same room for 13 years and has not eaten his wife's food.
Oh my
who
God.
opened up to me. Now you can imagine that. You would never know.
You would never know.
You would never even imagine that. Now our young people,
and sometimes you even admire their relationship,
of
not
course,
knowing what is inside.
Sometimes in 1 year, 2 years, you would see a lot of our young people, even after 1-2 children, separate, leave, especially with all the rights, especially in the Western world and all of that. So what really is a fruitful relationship, like you rightly asked? And that comes from us, first of all, redefining the whole purpose of this thing, by the way, before we even go, because a lot of people just say God said let them be fruitful and multiply. Yes, the first thing thing about that is you must understand that God gave that command for fruitfulness and multiplication for a married, we will call that today a married couple. Yes, we must always try to draw this line. There are some things that are referred to married couples, and there are those also that we will limit it at the level of relationship, because no matter whether they don't do small thing for your head or big thing for your head or round thing for your head, until you are married, you are not married. But now let's come to what we call a fruitful relationship. It first comes from what is the whole essence of a relationship. What's the whole essence of a relationship? Because when people don't understand this, that's where the problem comes. It's unfortunate that in our world today, when you check our songs, you check the things we focus on, it can easily tell you our mindset and the things that stimulate or move us. Now, unfortunately, some girls think a relationship is a job.
Oh my God.
Yes, where
some girls think a relationship is a job.
So they are looking for a man who will take care of them and give them things that their dad cannot provide. You know, yes, I see a relationship where the girl is given allowances, and I'm asking allowances for what? To do what with it? And sometimes it becomes a right, because nowadays it has become an exchange of literally what you want to tell the girl, say, I'm giving you my body. I'm giving you my body. Yes, and so it is more of an exchange of my body for that, for whatever. And now such a person will define a fruitful relationship as a relationship where money they enter. Oh my God. Are you understanding what I'm saying? So you will discover that our perspective, our understanding of anything will determine how we define it. Yes, and that's why I really love that case, because when we start approaching from different angles, you start discovering that we have been getting this thing all wrong from the very onset. That's what I'm saying. Most of these things they are doing it out of ignorance. Yes, today is so many people are going to learn a lot. Yes, so some people think a relationship that is fruitful is the one that the guy is paying the bills. You know, like a girl will sit in her house today. You would see a girl with an iPhone 14, a girl who is not working, holding an iPhone 14, living in a duplex, in a studio, and all of that. And if that guy leaves, you see, she will need another fruitful relationship. Okay, at that point in time, that is how the guy who gives her the iPhone 14 is the fruitful guy. Yes, not the one. I not come to this life to come and suffer. No, nobody came to suffer. Anything that comes in is a fruitful one. Yeah. So you will discover that these things has to do with our definitions and our perspectives of life. So let's go back to the very essence of creation. I think that's what I should talk on before we proceed. All right. I always say this, and a lot of people don't yet get it. Well, the day you get it, it changes everything. Okay. You see, man was not given a relationship in Genesis because of love. Like man was not looking for love when Eve was made. You would discover that he said he was naming things, and there was not found a suitable helper or helpmate for him. And then God decides to make a woman and presents to him as that suitable helpmeet. So you will discover that man's pursuit of a wife was not out of feeling. It was not love related. I've always used this passage. I remember I was preaching in one wedding and I said something. I said it was something I caught that the Lord opened my eyes to see in Romans chapter 8. We always quote the passage half. It says all things work together for good to them that love God. It's a beautiful passage. But now there's something I said in the B part which illuminated my heart. It says, and those who are the called according to his purpose. So it means when it comes to love, God loves all of us the same. In fact, you cannot say that God loves you more than me.
No.
My experience of love has to do with purpose. So, but he calls us out. God's calling, God's separation. If you see marriage as me picking one person out of billions, it should be not. God does not do that based on love. He does that based on purpose.
Based on purpose.
So a fruitful relationship has to do, it's purpose related and not feeling related or just material related. And this is where, if you don't catch this from the onset, even your parameters you will use to determine, the marking guide for any Christian depends.
Now, sorry, I don't want to cut you. You said something very deep.
Yeah.
You say a fruitful relationship should rely on purpose.
Yes.
Now, the unfortunate thing is there are many people out there who have not even discovered purpose.
Yes.
And they might not even understand what they mean by purpose.
Yes.
I think that should be the foundation of some of their troubles.
Yeah.
At that point in time, how do you get to the level where you understand your purpose before getting to be with a man that is in line with purpose?
Yes, that you see, this is a
this is love. I just want to love. I just want to be in a relationship. Why are you talking about purpose?
Yeah, and that's the problem. I'll tell you this as a counselor: more than 90% of the people who come to marry, or like the people I've been privileged to, because of as a counselor, we take people through the dating process, to the courtship, and we see them through even right to the marriage. A lot of times during marriage counseling, I'll ask a question: why do you want to marry this person? And more than 90% of the answer is always, I love him. And I just shake my head. And that's the reason why we go in and we cannot understand why that same person that you once loved, you pick up a knife. You pick up a frying pan.
What are you talking about?
You broke down the flat screen.
Sincerely.
Yeah, and
it
you're
has
like,
happened even to me.
Yes, and you're like,
it has happened to me. Sorry, I'm going to say this. There's you look at this person, you're like, this is the person, that is the person. Before you know it, you're like, this is a mistake.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is
that's reality. Because we were never told the truth. Unfortunately, let me say this. Unfortunately, especially in the church milieu, our emotional intelligences are instead stifled rather than built. Okay. That's because we see the things of the heart, emotional, as carnal, to the point where we try to suppress them, control them, manipulate them. And that's why you see, for example, some churches, it's a taboo to say dating.
Yeah.
Some churches don't want to hear the word dating.
Yes, some churches don't want to hear
the word. No, they don't even
dating.
do that. If I go and care about the pastor, in fact, in some churches, the pastor that talks to your girl for you.
Okay.
And to them, they are trying to curb sexual immorality. And I understand them. But you see, in all of those things that people have tried to do, we have never really solved that problem. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. No matter whether you are in deeper life or deepest life or in revival ministries or whatever, and you are tying, but what kind of thing? No matter what it is, these problems have been there. So my point is this: we must trash emotional issues emotionally while asking for divine help. Just like how we trash financial problems financially while seeking for divine help. You understand? Because we must be very practical about this. So my point is this, coming down to what you're talking about. You ask a very deep question. Now, how do I even know the problem? The problem is this: from the very onset, we were never told, we never linked marriage to who we are. Unfortunately, the average person is always looking for who they want. They only know who they want. They don't know who they are.
Okay.
That's the problem. You ask somebody, what are your spec? My spec. This. I want a man who is this. A man with these eyes. A man with these abs. I want a man who with this and that and that and that. But I always have a question. I always ask, are you your spec? That means if I bring your spec in front of you, are you sure he would choose you? Are you getting the point? So you would discover that it's not really more about who you want than who you are. Are you getting? And this is where the problem comes from, because many people don't understand that in relationships, because we're talking about fruitful, in relationships, right? It's purpose that brings alignment, not even morality. Another challenge people have is, oh, that guy is sweet and nice and kind and gentle, it might not still work. Are you understanding me? Just like how there are parts in your body that cannot interact. Imagine you wake up in the morning and your eye has moved to your back or your ear has moved to your back. You get what I'm trying to say? You see, your head must be linked to the neck, your hand at the level of the shoulder. These are the interactions that matter. So that is what we're talking about, purpose. It means for it to be fruitful, this part must be linked to this part.
Of course.
So if you miss the necessary joint, you will discover that relationship can be there, but it will be destructive.
You'll be very destructive.
So that's why you have to start by knowing who you are, so that you know who you can link up with. Let me end with this illustration I always give. For those of you who might have a car, there's an engine and there's something called the radiator. The radiator is where they put the water. That water helps to cool the engine. But the radiator must take the water, cool it with its own fan, pass it through the engine, and it's always getting hot because of what it does. It's not the radiator is getting hot. The engine is getting hot because of its work. But the water from the radiator will cool it. Why is cooling it? It makes the water hot. The radiator takes back the water that is hot, cools it with its fan, and send it back to the engine. So the radiator, knowing its role, knows that it will not go and be joining but to a car door. It must join to the engine. So knowing who you are will determine. Sometimes your friction with somebody is not because the person is bad. It's just because you are not in alignment with where you're going to.
Wow, great things there. And of course, if you're just tuning in, we're just beginning the show, right? If you're not very late, please feel free. The numbers on the screen, you can send us your text message, any worry you have, or is it a contribution, or if you have a worry about your relationship, or you have a question, or you have a contribution, just feel free to send us a text message. And remember, you can watch this same show on ITV Cameroon on YouTube. Of course, we are still live in the show. Now, Apostle, there's this statement, there's this common statement in the world. People say love is blind.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know whether people really see that statement and they really go deep into that statement. Now, what to you are some of these blind things people do because of love that greatly affect their future or destiny?
Okay, let's first address that statement.
Yes, love is blind.
Love is not blind, because if it's blind, marriage will open your eyes very well.
All right.
Yes, you see, love is not blind, and it shouldn't be blind.
Yeah, it shouldn't be blind.
It shouldn't be blind. It's something that requires a lot of intentionality and consciousness. But when we say love is blind, let me tell you the perspective. It's because there's a good side to this. If you tell me that love is blind, based on the fact that that you would soon realize, for people who are purpose conscious and destiny conscious and purpose determined, you would discover that many of your specs that were incited by Indian movies and Nigerian films, because a lot of things that we have picked up but from the surrounding. You want to meet that guy that you will meet and wind is blowing on the head. That is not it. That you go and meet in school and both of you will hit the floor and books will fall down, and then you will wake up and look at each other's eyes, and that's it. That's not the reality. So most of the times you will discover that when you are destiny related, you will discover that somebody will say, oh, I've always liked tall girls. There are different reasons why you can like a tall girl. Maybe your mom is tall, but for example, guys who love fair girls, a lot of times their moms are fair. It's a research that has been done. Guys who love dark girls, because when they like your daughter, some guys also don't like fair girls. They love dark girls. You check, their moms are dark and all of that. So these are some of the things that can influence you. But my point is this: when you were growing, As a child, you might say, I want a tall guy, I want this guy. But now when you start becoming destiny conscious, you might discover the person who fits for your purpose is a short man.
But that's the person who fits for your purpose.
So it is in this concept that I can say love is blind. That makes sense. That you are saying that because that person might, have you know people say, this man, see all that girl you don't date them. See as you find. Why you go marry this kind? Are you understanding me? And then somebody will say, no, love is blind. It's not really love that blinded him. No, instead his eyes were open to something you are not seeing. You are the one who is blind. But I'm just saying that's another way that people can talk about love is blind. But now coming to this other negative aspect, is that thing that we're talking about how people ignore red flags.
Yes.
Where people ignore red flags.
Exactly.
Where they are blinded to the red flags.
To the red flag.
Where their eyes are covered to the things, to the very things, and they go in
because they feel they are in love.
Good. And then it gets terrible.
Terrible.
Yes, and that's because many people are not proactive in thinking. They are always reactive. They just want to go by feelings. That's why I said that your feelings are very dangerous. Because if you have not built a good emotional intelligence to be able to say, you can love somebody and yet not marry the person.
It takes grace, wisdom, everything. Because I've seen people in a relationship where you really see red flags.
Yes.
Because the love is so much there. They don't even want to believe that this thing is not working.
Yes.
They don't want to believe that this guy will not get married to me, just deceiving me. They don't even want to believe it. And that's why we are going now into those red flags.
So your question was, what are some of these things?
Yes.
That
people do because people
that they are blind.
Yes.
Okay, let me first tell you one of the reasons why I always advise ladies, and I know a lot of times when people please on such TV program you must know that we are not just addressing Christians. Marriage is not a Christian thing.
Of course.
Muslims marry.
Yeah.
Atheists marry. African traditionalists marry.
Of course.
Whatever it is. So whenever I'm addressing people, the privilege I have to talk to people, you should know that I'm trying to help people beyond just the Christian milieu. Because when I say something, some people are like, what is he saying? How can a pastor be saying that? No, I'm not talking to you in your church.
And that's why we are failing every day, because we feel
that's why we keep failing in those things, because we were not told the truth. So this is it. When we advise, for example, I always tell ladies that there are certain things that can easily blind you to many things. Before we start talking about the red flags and what you do, let's look at what blinds people.
Yes.
What blinds people? Let's start with the ladies. One, your greed can blind you.
Okay. Yeah.
Your greed. A lot of times, that's why I told you that the way you see marriage, we're going to look at it another time. I'll look at choosing who to date and even choosing who to marry. They're two different things. There's choosing who to date, because if you are understanding, if you don't yet understand what you are looking for, you will determine that. Okay, let me put it this way: if I don't know that I'm going to Yaoundé, right, and I reach my 17, I will get so confused. Everybody's dragging me. Are you understanding me?
I'm getting.
Come this way. Have you ever gone to my 17? They tell you, Wama, Yaoundé, na Douala, Kumba. This is. Are you getting me? But if you know that it's Kumba, you know where to go. You will not go and stand where they are loading Douala, Yaoundé, and you're looking for Kumba. Are you getting my point? So one of the things that blinds ladies, your greed in today's world. That's why I keep telling ladies that if you don't have the love of money, you have solved more than half of your problems in life as a lady. I'm telling you this because whether we like it or not, there's an ease that attracts women. You know, you see the man with the car,
the money.
You see the because the comfortability you would be with such a person.
And I want to think that this particular point you're talking about, and when you say a man with the money, and you are so comfortable with the money, and that's why many ladies, I'm sorry to say, they're and the grief today because they have maybe actually gone into the wrong person,
Yeah.
maybe a cultist because of money. You know,
Even I don't want to go to those extremes.
collect money and you just forget to
Minus even those
look at-
extreme, because I know Moliko has gotten really terrible now. But minus those extremes, of course we see that every day. Even as pastors, you will see a lot of ladies today. Relationships have become transactional because of this. Are you understanding me?
Yeah.
Where you talk to the girl, the answer straight, say, wait to be my gain for the relationship. Yes. Yes. I know. Are you understanding what I'm saying? That's why it has become so easy. What is my gain? Oh, you have a car, come and pick me up. You know, all those kind of things. People love that. Oh, you have good apartment, you are renting a good house and all of that. But let's look at it. So your greed, pride. Is that something? Pride.
Yeah, pride.
Ignorance. You know you nothing, but you're always claiming to know. Most of the time, when you tell people to build emotional intelligence, they'll tell you, I started dating since I did secondary school. Look at all the idiots you have been dating.
Oh,
and you are
you
still
want me to-
bragging. And you are saying that I started dating since secondary school. Look at some of the people that used to be your choices back then. And look at your life now. And you can ask yourself, but what was I really thinking? Are you seeing? Because you have advanced in your knowledge. You get it? Also, another thing is sex.
All right.
Most girls don't know that the way they see sex is not the same way guys see sex, and that's where the problem comes from. You see, that's why when a guy is done, that he starts thinking his business.
Thinks
But a
about
girl-
something else.
But a girl wants to cuddle. She wants to relieve the moment. She does not want that moment to end. She wants to hold on to it. But are you getting?
The guy is done.
He's done. He's
done.
done. He's done.
He's
And that's
done,
why
he's
people
done.
don't understand why we always talk about a cheating for a man is different from cheating of a woman. We are going to talk about that another time. But you see, this is it. This is in no way enabling men and all. We are just saying that there is a way people are built, the psychology of the man, and all of that. Are you getting me?
Yeah.
A woman will be given, except these ones that have become too greedy and too, that they no longer care.
Yeah.
But generally, a girl will be giving you her body, and that's why you see a lot of girls will say, "Thank God." When you hear a girl say, "After all I did," she's talking about her body.
Her body.
After all I did,
Yeah.
you still left me. Or you say, "Thank God, say I'm not sleep with you." I don't know if those statements tell you a lot.
Thank God say.
Thank God, say
I no sleep with you.
good. So you begin to
Thank
get
God
it.
say I
So
no sleep.
a lot of times they are
It's for real.
because this intimacy, romance, and all of that can also blind you from the red flags. A lot of girls have been blind to red flag because the guy is good in bed. This is the truth. And I'm saying this especially some church sisters who might have grown up and not had experience of life. They come and they meet this guy. In fact, many ladies, even in marriages, have cheated because they are looking for a man who can satisfy them sexually. So these are some of the things that when these things come in, it can crowd your mind and it can stop you from seeing. For guys, it can even be family pressure. It can be social pressures. Mama, you don't go marry, and then all of a sudden you start looking at it. Sometimes your parents they can put pressure on you, and all of these things. So there are a lot of these little things that can make you,
Yes.
and you are not seeing what is there
Yeah.
right before you.
Wow. We've got some wonderful reactions here, but I want the apostle to catch his breath a little. Keep your reactions coming. We are going to read all your text messages. Please, you can send us, even this person, you are wise, you send it through WhatsApp. That's good. Send your reactions on WhatsApp, or you can send it normal text, and you can also watch on YouTube. Please, let's have this short musical break. We'll be right back. Please don't move a muscle.
Far when the roots of Africa no beget currency, go beyond your limits and share humanity. Rise above a past of insecurity, bring back integrity in our community. The happiness we find in the simplest things, the way nature communicates in the purest form. Pass it down knowledge na tradition we don't live from generation to generation. In our everyday lifestyle, may we find inspiration to share our stories in joy and admiration. Kwata Pikin, remember you are the universe having a human experience.
side of my story.
Carl on the beat, so it's lit.
See, I gotta tell them my story. Tell the whole of my story. Shine the light in my story.
Story for that quarter picking.
Me, I gotta tell them my story. Tell the whole of my story. Share the light in my story.
Okay, welcome back to the show. And if you're just tuning in, this is Meet the Love Doctor with Apostle Lefford Divine, aka the Love Doctor himself. And of course, he's been unleashing, revealing some wonderful things here. And I want to believe, or somebody wrote a text message. He's still writing. He deleted and he's still writing. Please send your messages coming. The person wrote and deleted. But before we went on the break, we were discussing something very exciting, Apostle. Now there is this misunderstanding between love relationship and feelings.
Yes.
Now, how do you know you're in a love relationship and not just feelings?
Well, the thing is this: feelings come and go. Feelings will always be there. You are a human being. It's normal to feel. You might not be feeling yesterday, but before this evening is over, you start feeling. It's normal. Don't beat yourself up. The thing is that they always make us to look like when you have become spiritual, you cannot feel. That's not true. That's not true. How can you explain David, a man who is so anointed by God, a man after God's heart, will have the ability to kill his own soldier and take his wife? Who would have thought? Are you getting me? It's there in the Bible. Are you understanding what I'm saying? So feelings come and go. Feelings are hormonal. That's why there's a feeling you have when you're ovulating is different from the feeling you have when you're not ovulating.
Yeah.
When your body is preparing you to get pregnant, is that making you to want to go and visit people? You need a hug, tight hugs. I just want to be in your arms and all of those kind of things. You know, those things bring ideas and all of that. So feelings come and go. But now I always tell people, how on earth do you think you would be with one person 30 plus years, 35 plus years, based on fluctuating feelings? It's impossible. The strength of a relationship that will last a lifetime, which, because when you're saying yes I do, the problem is our generation does not even see marriage again as something that should last. After all, I can walk in, if you don't walk, I walk out. In fact, there are family settings where they tell you that
at that level you entered with feelings, not.
Yes, you enter with feelings.
Yeah.
You cannot take I always say that you cannot make a permanent decision based on a temporal emotion.
Oh my God. It has dealt with a lot of people.
No, you don't do that.
Apostle, there are times where because of feelings you're in a relationship, right?
Yes.
And you really know that you don't have too much because you meet this guy and because you want to show the guy that you truly love him. And maybe the last of your money, maybe your school fees, or maybe your child's school fees, or somebody's money, you decide to gather all that money and give that person because of feelings.
Yes.
And maybe tomorrow something really bad happens, the guy leaves you.
Yes.
And you did it out of feelings. You never thought that I'm doing this thing on what purpose, on what reason. And you just did it. Before you know it, the relationship is no longer there. Or you discover later that this person I was dealing with is not actually a true person.
Yes. Let me address this. Now, I'm addressing, you spoke from a girl's perspective.
All right.
Are you understanding me? You put it from a girl's perspective.
I'm for girls. I'm a girl's advocate.
But you also fail to understand that this is what we live by every day.
Okay.
This is literally what we live by every day. In fact, you heard about the boy who went and cut a girl into pieces in Bamenda, and the girl was like, I cannot get married to Okada man. It happens every day. My point is this. That is why I always advise people that you see, personally, I will never advise a guy to be sending a girl to school you have not married.
Okay.
Yes. You see, because you see this same thing that makes us resent when it does not work out. It's because let me put it this way. You must see a relationship that is not yet marriage, right? I said here the last time, one of the episodes, I said dating is not marriage. Courtship is not marriage. Dating is a process of knowing. It's a process of finding out whether I want to spend all my life. But
can you do that during courtship?
Do what? All of those
no,
we are saying that by courtship there's already a certain level of agreement, because before you move to courtship, you have at least said, I can marry this person. That's why I always tell people, don't just start a relationship and go and start getting family involved. To me, courtship starts when family is involved. Like they now know you.
Okay.
It does not mean that you have paid something, but at
Alright.
least you are known. My point is this: there are things that should be left for the marital home to avoid curses at the end. I'm talking about cursing each other at the end. Are you understanding what I'm trying to say?
I'm getting you now.
And that's why it comes out with emotional intelligence and knowing what you are looking for in dating, as well as how to go about the dating. For example, I just made here. I said the problem is when people see dating as clubbing and sex and eating and drinking, you begin to see somebody will get there and say, I don't give my skin, he don't deal with me. When he don't use me, now he won't go on the other side. You will see that if it was not done in that way, you would, yes, you might be hurt, but you would see that you can easily move ahead. You will not become vengeful about it. You know, I always tell people that vengeance when you are hurt was not love. If not, God for don't wipe it all. Are you getting me?
I'm getting
Yes,
very
true
well.
love, it's not vengeful. When you feel like to get back at somebody you never really loved them, but let's go back. I know people can hurt you, but let's go back on track. We'll talk about that another time. So my point is this: how do you know when this you are in this love, you are in this relationship, and it's not just love? Now let's go back to what God said. God tells Adam and Eve, be fruitful and multiply.
And multiply.
I know most of the time we always translate that passage as go born picking. Are you getting me? And that's because we never really understood all of this. Now let's go back. You would describe, God started by saying, but when you're fruitful, you will multiply.
You multiply.
Now another, in Ecclesiastes, he says, two are better than one.
Of course.
Let me come back to define what a fruitful relationship is. A fruitful relationship is, for those of you who wanted to take down note, it's a relationship where they two are better than one. It means that there are people that you are better off being alone than being with them.
Where? Papa got it.
Are you understanding what I'm saying?
So you begin to check those things
Yeah,
and those
this
things.
is the reality. Let me explain. One, if you check the scriptures, right, you will discover it says, one shall chase 1,000, two shall put 10,000 to flight. It means in the economy of this coming together, it's not 2,000 to flight. It means it's not even it's not a multiplying, it's not times 2 effect. It was a times 10 effect. It means that this person brings out the best in you to the level that your productivity. Now I always tell people this passage that two are better than one is not a marital principle. It's a principle even in business.
All right.
That's why we keep telling people. For example, we want to coach business, we tell them build a team. Even when Jesus come to this earth, did Jesus walk alone?
At all.
Did Jesus walk alone? The Son of God,
strong team.
did he walk alone? He had 12 people with him. Am I right?
Oh, very true.
Good. So two are better than one. And another that's a person. Three is even better. Three is even more. Are you getting the point?
I'm getting the point.
Whatever you can be, right? Marriage is to ensure that your destiny and purpose is enhanced, and for you to be fruitful and multiply in your impact, in your effect, not just multiply in giving birth. That's why when people cannot give birth, they feel like their own has come to an end in this life. The primary point of marriage is not just for procreation. Yes, procreation is there, but what if, because today some people feel like if your wife cannot give birth, that's the end. Are you getting me?
Yeah.
Procreation has its place, of course.
Of course.
But this is the point: to be fruitful and multiply. You multiply your impact with someone else. It means that's why I say marriage should be purpose and destiny related. That's why, let me say this: you must not marry. I know it will, some people, I'm saying this because some people have thought if you don't marry you are cursed. You must not marry to fulfill destiny. Jesus Christ, the head of the church, did not. The apostle Paul did not.
You know, I think that's the problem we have here, because it's like the times of the apostles or the times of Jesus is different with this time.
No, times.
And that's why you see so many people go into some relationship. It's not going at all, but they are just in there. So maybe lost their lives, and because they're in one phony relationship, thinking that you must marry or you must be in a
even the parent will say that if you know I'm married, born picking and giving. No, it's true. Listen.
Oh my God.
Our target should be fulfilling the reason why God brought us to earth.
God? Yeah, very true.
That is why no man is worth forfeiting that purpose. What is the use being with somebody who is not helping you fulfill God's plan for your life?
Wow.
Are you getting me? That is the definition of fruitful. Why be with somebody who is not helping you fulfill God's plan for your life? Let me tell you this, man of favor. There is no award in heaven for best marriage. Marriage is something that ends on earth. Jesus said, in heaven they don't marry. So I will not enter into heaven, the two of us, and say, oh, let's welcome the latest couple in town.
And Apostle, even if we talk about is it worth wasting your time in a relationship on this earth that is not fruitful?
That is the point. So the fruitful is this. Another thing is this. Let me you have said something that has just brought something to my mind.
Is there much time for us to waste in a relationship that is not fruitful?
There's something you have said. Now,
hello.
Another question. This another thing. This very statement you have just made. When a girl above 30 makes it, there is pressure. Where you will say, if this thing lead to some place, and what is that place? Marriage, right? That's basically what we're saying. That the relationship should be going towards marriage. But don't just fight to have a wedding. Unfortunately, people are fighting to have weddings, not marriage. Are you getting me?
Yeah.
You want it to be that you don't marry too. The fruitfulness should be that in your alliance with this person, you see your core values come together and reverberate and produce something bigger. Because the Bible says two are better than one. Are you understanding me?
Yeah.
This says, be not be deceived. Bad communication, evil communication corrupts good manner. But it goes also the other way. Good communication. Together, there are people that just stir up the best in you. And as a lady, a good wife, you are a helpmate. It means your purpose becomes the perfect fit to amplify the vision of a man, because a man is a visionary. And together, that man is helping you become yourself, and you are helping the man become himself.
Wow. Apostle, please let's just answer these questions before.
Yes, sure.
The people, I'm sure they are watching and they are waiting. Someone sent us a text message.
We would like to get their names.
Yeah.
Please send us your names and where you're watching us from. We would love to. Always, when you write us, just tell us your name and where you're watching us from. Thank you.
Okay, this one says, hello, please, and for the fact that love is blind. It's a Miss Callboy from Bali Kumbat. Okay, Miss Callboy from Bali Kumbat. Thank you so much for watching. I have another text here from WhatsApp. This one says, good evening to you guys in the studio. I'm enjoying the program. Thank you very much. He said, nowadays men are of the opinion that they have to be financially stable before getting into relationship or marriage. Is that advisable? This one is writing from Bondumagate.
Okay, that nowadays
he said what? Nowadays men are of the opinion that they have to be financially stable before getting into marriage, relationship or marriage.
Yes.
Is that advisable?
It's not about the advice. The thing is this.
It's a reality what now?
It has been brought up because look, there's something called demand and supply.
Okay.
When girls, that's why I always tell girls that they should just say boys are using them. When you advertise, people will buy.
All right.
Are you getting me? There's something called demand and supply. Girls have made it so. Guys have forced themselves to go and make money because of what they are seeing girls do. Just imagine only in Boya, you will discover that a guy with a car. How many girls today can look at a guy, see the person's future, and help the person build? It's easy to go with the person who has made it. And today, with all the fast methods of making money, the scamming, there are a lot of, how many people are? I always say that when you love money, it is so difficult for you to wait to build with somebody. Are you getting me? Yes. So the guys have decided to do what? To make the money and use it. I always tell ladies, when you will go up, they promise that you are still young and you're hanging around broke guys. There's a reason why also old men are taking a lot of young girls nowadays. I'm telling you this as a counselor. People open up all kinds of things. Let me tell you this. The easiest thing a man can give a girl is money. When he has, you would soon know in life that the easiest thing, go and ask rich women in rich homes. They would tell you that I wish this man had my time. They will tell you that they're asking about something else. It only buy new motor, it only buy me this. But for now, you think that's what you need. Are you getting what I'm trying to say?
I'm getting you.
When it's because you're saying around boys that maybe it might be they struggle to give you 100,000, struggle to give you 200. Let me tell you, that's the reason why you see some of these scammers when they don't go peak. I heard a story just only Moliko here.
Yeah.
It was in a bar. A girl had a problem with a boyfriend. The boyfriend seized the girl's phone that he bought for her and walked out.
Oh
A boy inside that place saw it,
crazy
just walked and
experience.
came to the girl and said it was which phone. He said iPhone 12. He said wait at the car. Left from there when I bought an iPhone 12
Ash.
in 15 minutes.
Money stop nonsense.
Yes, and came back about 500,000 or something, and came and gave the girl. The girl took it. Said yes, please stop crying. You are too beautiful to cry.
Oh my
Wipe your
gosh.
tears. In fact, can we leave this place? And they left. Now, my point is this: that scammer or that whoever has just done that, and that's enough. Do we not see people's billboards put on here, and after they were still crying in this money go, they advertised a girl. We saw people that they were giving them money, and after that we heard they were crying because of heartbreak. Are you understanding me? So I think this has come. It's a new mentality of our generation, a social ill that has put that pressure. Where you would see that the guy needs to make that money because he's in competition. He feels like he will not be able to get who he wants because the girl is looking at a certain class. So for me, I would advise a man, don't put yourself under any pressure. Walk at your pace and you will get the right person.
I don't think too there's a little rush, because sometimes it's that pressure. You want to get married, you want to get in a relationship. Why not just be patient, as Apostle says, work, get prepared, and the right time, I think, is you're going to get the woman that you truly love. This one, he says, I'm Joseph from Bongo,
Okay.
Bongo Boya. He says, in the world, women are more than men. In the world, women are you a Muslim? In the world, women are more than men. So some people think to create balance, a man should not get or marry just one woman.
Yes.
Please, sir, I need an explanation in such ideology. You understand?
The problem is, why do you need the ideology? I always step with this.
The women are more than men.
No,
so
that's not my problem.
a man should marry like Solomon, you know.
Somebody
Some
asked
people
me
used
a
to say
question.
Solomon got married to
question.
many wives, you know.
I'm not. Now I know it might be very hurtful to some people, but you see, polygamy is one of those things that have not been outrightly contradicted by God in Scripture. Polygamy has not been outrightly contradicted by God. We only have scriptures like in the beginning it was not so, he made them male and female. But you will see that throughout, a lot of God's men did that. Monogamy is an evolution of humanity that mimics, are you understanding me? We are coming to that perfection of how it was, a male and a female.
Yeah.
But now this is it. I always tell people, I said, if you want to go for polygamy, make sure before you have the number of women Solomon had, you have his wisdom and his money. Don't just be talking about Solomon's women without having Solomon's wisdom and Solomon's wealth. You can't be struggling to feed and you are struggling to keep 3 women.
Okay, listen to this wisdom. Don't be talking about
Don't talk about Solomon's 700 wives where you don't have his wisdom and his wealth.
And his wealth.
Are you getting me?
Yeah.
So don't be happy that one day I'll be like Solomon when you have neither sense nor money. So before you want to start getting to those, before you want to start adopting those ideologies, make sure you are equipped mentally and financially to be able to handle it. If not, it's going to be disastrous. Whether like it or not, only one woman is not that easy, my brother.
All right, I think somebody send a message here.
Yes.
It says, please, I'm really enjoying this program. Please help us, give us your name, okay? I'm seeing here you have not given us your names. But it says, please, I'm really enjoying this program. But what is disturbing me is that you said love is not blind. Maybe you did not understand, Apostle. You said love is not blind. How come? Please, I need an explanation.
The problem is, how come love is blind? you see, you just grew up and they were saying something. I explained it from the various points of what people meant.
Get it,
Yes, what people meant by love is blind. But I'm saying that even if love is blind, it shouldn't be blind. Are you getting me? Love is God. I always tell people that when men are looking for love, right, they are literally looking for God. But I don't want to go religious on this because people start talking about we're talking about erotic love. But you see, every love has a purpose. Let me prove that to you. You see, the same way I love my daughter, right? I love my daughter, but I will not go around having sex with my daughter to prove my love. because the purpose of that relationship does not involve procreation. I can express my love with my wife, my spouse, sexually. Are you get what I'm saying? People also love there's also brotherly love. They love in church. In fact, Jesus said they love the brotherhood. The love in the brotherhood will be so strong that people will know that we are his disciples. So love has its different ways of expression based on purpose. So I am saying that love cannot be calling out somebody that is not seen. For me to pick you out of everybody in this world, you cannot be picking somebody that you want to live with all your life blindly. That is where we are suffering. That's why we are suffering. That's my point. So it shouldn't be so. You cannot do that blindly. It has to be intentional. It has to, you need to know. And that's why I say that to know, that's the reason we have this kind of program. So you can be enlightened. So you can be able, that's why I say that knowledge starts from knowing God, knowing yourself, then you will know who you can interact with to be able to fulfill the purpose God has for you. I have a book which I believe those of you who are watching should read, dealing with feeling unappreciated in a relationship. It's a book for all, for love relationship, your co-workers, your bosses. Please get that book. I will show you if you have ever felt have you ever felt unappreciated in a relationship?
Yeah.
Yes.
Of course.
I think you should get that book. That's the first thing, and it's soft copy. You can get it right even on your WhatsApp and all of that. Because I try to show people some reality there that people don't yet get. That even how somebody appreciates you has nothing to even do with your performance.
Of course.
It has also to do with their preference. Are you understanding me? There are all kinds of music on this earth, but the best person in a particular genre will make you be like, now wait to that. Are you getting me? So if that person was only looking at you, that person will think that they are not doing anything. So if appreciation also is not limited to your performance, it's limited to what I want. I don't know if you get what I'm trying to say. For me to appreciate you, it is also a function of my need, my want, my desire, my preference, and not only how good you are in what you have done. So if you don't understand this, you would always feel like rejection. I keep telling people, rejection is not a bad thing. Rejection also is proof of your uniqueness. So if I reject you, don't carry on your head. That's what it's something about ego, especially in church. Some of the reason why we force people to marry is because that brother or sister might be hot in church, might be the hottest brother or the hottest sister in church. And then since people knew a relationship, when finally broke now, you are forcing it, you are repairing it, you are using duct tape to hold it because you don't want people, you don't want it to be like you are not good enough. No. Dating, the purpose of dating, we're going to talk here about it, how to have a successful breakup. It should be one of our topic. How to have a successful breakup. The purpose of dating is to know, and if you finally know that it cannot work, the dating was successful. So break up is a success.
I think Apostle, I'm just feeling like this Romeo has an issue where how do you really understand that I'm actually blind in this relationship and maybe I don't.
But he who said that love is blind, he knows what he's saying now. Am I the one saying that love is blind? No, when you say love is blind, you are saying that you can love somebody for no reason, right? No, the essence of love is blind means that you can love somebody for no reason. That's my point. You see, when you love somebody for no reason, marriage will open your eye. You can finally discover that this is not what I want. Can I tell you this? When I was growing up, have you ever, I don't know, maybe your time, have you ever heard pastors back then say, oh, I'm married to a woman, the woman is fighting my ministry, the woman is like a devil,
of course, we hear that
an angel of darkness. Have you ever heard those kind of things?
We hear that every time, now and then.
When I was growing up, I don't want to call the name of the ministry because I was very careful. When I was growing up, I always heard that a lot. I hear people will say, oh, my woman, don't turn, she's an angel of darkness, fighting my ministry. Do you know what I finally discovered when I grew up and I became a counselor and I did research? More than 85% of those men who made that statement did not marry their wives as pastors. They were someone else. Then along the line, so after having 2 children, after some years in the marriage, got up and said, God has called me. Now this woman did not bargain
to marry a pastor.
And all what comes with it. Are you getting me? That's why I keep telling you, find yourself. When I'm coming in, I should know what I am coming into. So when this woman now is retaliating or trying to adjust, who is not enjoying all the encounters you are enjoying with your calling, you start saying this woman is fighting me. Are you getting what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So that's my point. That marriage is a dangerous thing, because when your eyes go and open inside, many women today, I'm telling you, if they tell them to marry that same man they have married, they will refuse. I'm telling you the truth. But some of them are just there now because of their kids.
Yeah.
So I'm saying
They're
that
already there.
it is a dangerous thing to just jump in without really taking your time. Jesus said that if you don't count the cost of anything, one of the topics we had here is counting the cost. You can go through the High TV different topics. I'm sure maybe
Yeah, I
on
think
YouTube
I've listened,
you can
I watched that.
You
That
can watch
was
that.
also
Counting the
program.
cost. You have to count the cost. It means just that if you don't count the cost, if you don't plan well and see what it will cost to be with this person, says you will start build and you will not finish. If Jesus said it, if Jesus said something, please take it serious.
Please take it so serious. Dear televiewers, it's really getting hot in the studio, and this is of course Meet the Love Doctor. We still have the lines, the numbers on your screen. You can send us a text message on WhatsApp, a normal text message. And to those of you who have been sending your messages, God bless you. Thanks for watching. Now we are going to have a short musical break. When we come back, you're going to get more on today's platform.
Quatrième commandement.
Yeah. No, thank you very much.
You don't buy motor. Course. You don't buy motor.
This is another DJ.
Give me the mic, yo. Yeah. Hey. Mon ami, dans la vie, les choses sont très compliquées. Je vais vous raconter une histoire de Paolo. Paolo a gagné sa vie, il donne pas moto. Et tous les jours dans les boîteaux. Et il n'écoute pas les conseils de sa maman. Oh. Paolo changeait les petits amis comme les cabangondo. Et son entourage était là, j'ai just the follow, yeah. Paolo aimait de la ville, mais il a aussi oublié que le soleil ne brillera pas pour toujours. Il a quitté sa responsabilité. Toute la famille l'a supplié, mais il était occupé à s'amuser. Ben now the pepper don't red, I just talk am the way it is. L'argent don't finish for banco. L'argent don't finish for banco. L'argent don't bole for handy. L'argent don't bole for handy. Et quand l'argent est là, tes amis sont là.
Okay, welcome back, and thank you so much for tuning in again. You're very much welcome. And of course, this is your favorite darling love or relationship program on High TV. This is Meet the Love Doctor with Apostle Lefford Divine, aka your own Love Doctor. And today has been awesome. We've been having a lot of wonderful time talking about those pertinent issues that has to do with reality of life and relationship. And of course, Apostle, we are back again.
Yeah.
We are here again to the studio. Please remember to relax. Keep sending your text messages, your worries, your questions, or your contributions. We're going to read it live on today's episode of the show. Now, let me say this before I turn to the Apostle. Please stop ignoring the red flags in your relationship, thinking that your man or your woman will change. Apostle, is it when you're in a relationship and you try to avoid the red flags, thinking that your guy will change, just like you're dating a guy, he's a drunkard, or maybe he's a scammer, or he does one funny thing, and you're now, let me just be there, maybe he's going to change. Maybe because he's the kind of man you like. Because there are some ladies that love tall, handsome, beautiful, this kind of person, rich, but there's this character in the person that seem not to leave the person, but you don't know, he's going to change. This person is going to change.
Yeah. Let me start by making a statement that we don't really marry people, we marry mindsets. You must know this. Unfortunately, people are more so concerned about their physical specs. or like dark blue eyes, like the tall girls would say tall, dark, handsome, TDH, you know. Yeah, they need some dark chocolate and stuff. Okay, and all of that. Unfortunately, all of these things don't keep a relationship together. These physical qualities, does it mean you should be with somebody you're not attracted to physically? No, of course, that's not really it. But I'm saying that even your physical sensories has been affected by a lot of things. It can be affected by your family, where you're growing, your community, your church. There's a lot that influences our choices. That is why I told you that you must know God, yourself. Yourself has to do with your purpose, God's plan for your life, and all of that. Then, before you start trying to know who you want to be with, not trying to look for who you want to be with before knowing yourself. I'm just trying to put all of this so that it begins to make sense. Now, because we cannot talk about red flags and the characters or the things you want to change, and all of that, or whatever. Let's first come, like I said, you're marrying a mindset. The things that they say two cannot work together unless they agree. Are you getting me? So you can't think a man's height is strong enough to keep you people together forever. Guys, a girl's boob or buttocks cannot keep you. Let's be very factual here. When that girl will give birth, will that boob remain like that? Will that, are you understand what I'm saying?
No.
Give 3-4 children, and you will, that thing that you thought was the best in town, that thing that you thought was standing, can never go down, it's biology. You understand, there are biological factors. A lot of things will change physically and all of that. That is why you need to connect to somebody emotionally, spiritually, psychologically, socially, because you can also get married to somebody that you cannot socially feel free with, and all of that. Mentally, there's something called intellectual intercourse. How can you date somebody that the only time people go, I only drink to stupor to go and have sex, or go and dance in a club? There are many people dating in town that they have never discussed this for 1 hour. They have nothing to talk about. Are you getting me? That if it's not discussing, there is nothing in common they discuss. So you see, all of these things falls now into place, and you start asking yourself, I'm with this person. Remember what I said, you get married to a mindset. It means you have to ask yourself, does this person's core values tie with mine, so that we are going the same direction? Secondly, there's something we call the Tambe and I, we call it the over 10 rule, or the 10 rule. It means that what? You can never meet a person that is perfect. That means you are looking at somebody who is perfect. So I always tell people,
meaning if you're dating a guy who has a spirit of loss, dating so many girls, you one day might change.
Well,
because you can never get married to a perfect person.
Yes. Well, okay. Now let me come to that. I was getting to that, and I will boldly say that. I know it might really disturb you a little bit. I always tell people that to some people, cheating is not the worst thing that happens in a relationship. You might, to another it might be, to another it is. Are you getting me? To some people it's not. That's why you need to sit down and ask yourself that, look, some people girl cannot move them, but money. Are you understanding me? That means you will get married to a person, before you want to see it, they don't carry you, go looking for say na wait, you don't borrow money for year, borrow money for year, borrow money for year, borrow money for year, and you're asking where is the money and what was that? Are you getting what I'm trying to say? So that's why I keep saying that. Don't think that just dating multiple girls is the worst thing. When some people get to brag, I like my son, I don't like woman. What about money? You would see pastors who have never been caught in anything about woman. When they see offers, so they shake. When they see money, go and check their books. They have cooked their books. Are you understanding what I'm trying to say? This thing, everybody has a weakness.
Everybody, I love that statement.
Everybody has a weakness, and let's be very
Everybody has a weakness. Some people just look at others as if they are the worst.
Yes, they also think some people are very perfect because you don't know them.
You don't know them.
Are you getting my point? So this is what I'm trying to say. Let us try to walk and walk. This is it. When you know yourself, the reason you know yourself is so that you know what attacks. Let me bring this in 1 minute. Your greatest strength is always also your greatest weakness. This is what people don't know. Let me explain. Have you ever seen these lorries that carry water for Supermon?
Yeah.
They carry water to another town. Can your small Carina E carry the same quantity of water to another town? No. But that Carina E will run faster than it. Are you getting me?
Yes.
So if I need but speed, I will not take that lorry. But at the same time, that if I need but capacity to carry goods, that lorry is my choice. So my choice is based on what I need. If I'm playing football, I'm not going to be buying sneakers.
A cousin, when he just got married to the husband, as he entered the marital home, every day, people are coming to ask for money. Money.
Yes.
Money.
Yes.
But she was asking, what kind of marriage I don't enter for this way?
Yes.
At that time, they had not really gotten married. They were still into kind of courtship. What kind of relationship?
And maybe he will never talk to any girl. He is very nice. He will not talk to anybody.
But you know, with time, the man's trend was he's a businessman. With time, but today, those things are no longer there.
Good. So coming out to that time are changing. Now, have you understood the first thing?
Yeah,
we are running up here.
Yeah, we are running up.
Work with the person's strengths.
Yes.
Understand that there are weaknesses.
Yes.
And then see whether those strengths. Look, a man who will supply the strength you need for your destiny is more important than you focusing on the flaws.
Wow.
A 7 on a 10 is good. Are you getting me?
Let me repeat it to our viewers.
Yes.
A man
whose strength complements you in destiny is very important than just you focusing on the person's weaknesses. So if that person's strength comes together with you and you people are also, because where they are lacking now, your strength can cover for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you getting me?
Yeah. That's why it's good to always very
where you are lacking now, your own strength. For example, maybe the person is a little bit not organized. You're someone who likes organized.
Yes.
But now, what if you bring another organization into the person's life?
The person's life.
I'm giving an example. Are you understanding me?
Compliments.
Good. It complements. So work like that. Then know that everybody has a weakness. You will just be able to understand what you can manage.
All right. Not what you cannot manage. Don't go and kill yourself.
What you can manage. Don't go and take what you cannot manage. What you can manage, because everybody is managing somebody into a relationship. Everybody comes with it. But now you are looking at what you can manage. Now, last point is this.
Before we take your questions.
Yes. Last point is this. Whenever someone to marry, do you know I always tell them? I said, don't marry a man who is futuristic. That means, of course, not everything is unveiled for a man. You cannot wait for a man to reach their vision first. But my point is this. Marry a man that, I always tell them, ladies, if this man does not change now, can you live with him all your life? Don't marry the person you're planning to change. Hope for the better, yes. But always assume that if nothing changes, are you getting? Even if we go legally, if you and I are married today and we decide to break up, they don't just go and they just give us divorce. They will still give us time.
Yeah.
There's separation before they even give divorce. Are you understanding what I'm trying to say? So this is not easy. So marriage is for life. But are there some situations where we can give divorce? Yes, personally there are situations that I am for divorce. That is divorceable. But we're not yet to focus on that.
Wow.
But if it's a relationship, walk away. And know that relationship is not marriage. If it is one day to the marriage, walk away.
Walk away. Another question says, good evening, I'm called Frederic from Tico. I'm enjoying the program. Please, how can one find a fruitful leaf? That you will have some wonderful closing remarks there. Please, if you just tuning in, you can send your text messages. Maybe we'll read it before we close. Now, also, a few minutes for us to go.
Yes. I just want to say that never go into a relationship when you haven't understood yourself. You might be blaming others when you are the problem. Most of the times we think we deserve a good relationship, but are you that person God wants you to be? I'm not just talking about morally here. I'm talking about purpose related. Are you where, I would say this, there are people who are non-Christians who have had better and good relationships, because marriage and relationship, it's something here that if you understand, you can make the most of it. And I just like to say that if you need counseling, prayers, enlightenment, wisdom, don't just walk alone. Just like how you have been enlightened here, I'm here. This is what I do professionally. We've helped a lot of people in over 40 countries. I've counseled, talked with people, prayed with people, directed people, helped people, build emotional intelligence, and promote mental health. And that's why we have this program all over. You can follow me on Facebook. I'm also the founding president of Wisdom Foundation. You can follow me on Facebook, Left for Divine. And if you need